What's good, Ravens fans? Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us here on the Ravens Rundown as we get you set for the Baltimore Ravens matchup against the Denver Broncos coming up this Sunday. We'll tell you everything you need to know, keys to the game, injury report, and prediction. All that in just one moment. Before we do, though, if you want the Ravens to beat the Denver Broncos, here's what I need you to do. I need you to smash that like button. Don't jinx it. Don't take any chances on losing to the Denver Broncos. I have been told that the Ravens are scientifically more likely to win this game if you smash the like button on today's video. So don't take any chances on it. Don't be that guy. Smash the like button if you want to see a Ravens win. We'll get started with today's show. NFL week number 13. The Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens from Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Before the season began, I looked at this matchup, and I think, like many of you, seemed pretty excited. Russell Wilson, new quarterback in Denver, and getting to the month of December, playoff push and everything. But the Broncos have been the most disappointing team in the NFL this year, and Russell Wilson has been a disaster. Nathaniel Hackett was the worst coaching hire of anybody out there this offseason. And the Ravens, they're coming off a loss, and they're looking at this game as a perfect bounce-back opportunity to get back on track after losing one against Jacksonville. You take on one of the worst teams in the league here in Denver and have a chance to get things headed back the right direction. And the odds reflect how much the Ravens feel good about themselves, comparatively speaking, to this Denver team. Baltimore favored by 9.5. The over-under a little bit lower at 38.5 for this matchup here. So I'm very curious, who do you got in this game? You going with Baltimore or you going with Denver? What is your bet going to be? You know me, I'm going all in on the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. 9.5, I like the Ravens to win and cover. That's going to be the bet I make. What bet will you be making? Let me know in the comments section. BAL for the Ravens. If you are a hater and going with the Denver Broncos, you can type DEN for Denver. Let me know in the comments section below. Let's start with the injury report for your Ravens. And there's a few guys questionable for Sunday's game, including offensive tackle Ronnie Stanley, who is recovering from an ankle injury. Isaiah Likely also recovering from an ankle injury as well. Last week, we did see, with Likely out, that Josh Oliver stepped up and did a really good job in that role. And so, whoever it may be, somebody's just going to have to be that number 2 tight end, whether it be Likely or whether it be Oliver or Charlie Kolar, whoever it may be. Somebody is going to need to step up and fill that void. Kyle Hamilton with a knee injury. He's questionable as well. And then you have 3 players for Baltimore that are coming off IR. J.K. Dobbins returned to practice this week with the knee injury. There's Marcus Williams with the wrist injury, and then Josh Ross with the foot injury. We'll see what their status is for Sunday, but all of that remains to be seen at this point in time. Now, the keys to victory for your Baltimore Ravens starts out with protecting the football. That sounds kind of obvious, right? But when you look back at last week's game, I think we all say to ourselves, yeah, you definitely need to protect the football. In particular, fumbling. Can't be turning over that way. And the Ravens this year are 5-2 this season when they do not lose the football through a fumble. Basically, to put it in a nutshell, you take care of the football, you win. Take care of business, right? Look at last week against the Jags. Gus Edwards, he fumbled and lost the football. Lamar Jackson fumbled and lost the football. Mark Andrews even had a fumble, but it didn't result in the Ravens losing the football. So with that said, 3 fumbles in one game last week. Got to cut back on that. Got to do a much better job of protecting the football and taking care of business in that way. Priority number 1, just take care of the football. Protect the football and stop with the fumble madness as far as I'm concerned. Number 2, getting pressure on Russell Wilson will be a huge key. This Broncos team has not done a very good job of getting pressure or protecting Russell Wilson and their quarterbacks this season. And the Ravens have done a really good job with their pass rush here within the latter half of this season. And so the priority number one right here of taking care of business, getting pressure on Russell Wilson will be a huge key and try to shake him up, get him rattled a bit. To me, that is going to be crucial. I mean, look at what this Broncos team's done this year. They've given up 36 sacks, 35 that Russell Wilson has taken down. He has been hit a lot. Ravens will need to continue to get pressure on him if they want to succeed there. Got a couple more keys to victory here in just a second. Before we do, though, I have a little challenge here for you. How many times do you think the Ravens are going to sack Russell Wilson? Here's what we're going to do. This is something we've never done on this show before, but I want to try it out. For every time that you think the Ravens are going to sack Russell Wilson, I want you to write "Let's Fly" in the comments section. A little play on words there. You know, Russell Wilson said Broncos country, let's ride this year. Yeah, they've been riding to a 3-win season. Ravens fans, let's fly. Let's fly to victory on Sunday and fly to some sacks on Russell Wilson. For every time you type "Let's Fly" in the comments section, that's a sack on Russell Wilson. So if you think he's going to get sacked 4 times, type it 4 different times in the comments. If it's going to be 10, type it 10 times. Let me know. A little survey. Let's see how many times you think that Russell Wilson's going to get sacked. We continue with our keys to victory. All gas, no brakes, to quote Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian. And in this case, it applies to this Ravens team. And here's what I mean by this. The Broncos offense has been absolutely terrible, right? And I know that a lot of you out there are sitting at home complaining about Greg Roman, and for a lot of good reasons to complain about Greg Roman, especially as of late with the performance the Ravens put up last week against the Jags. But to put it simply, I mean, if you're the Ravens, I'm not afraid to turn this thing into a shootout. I'm not afraid to go no huddle all game long and try to just simply outscore the Denver Broncos, because based on the statistics, they show that the Broncos can't hang with the Ravens offensively. And I know that we've complained about the offense not getting plays in fast enough. For me, just let her rip. Just let it fly. Go all gas, no brakes. Look, the Ravens are averaging 25 points a game. Not bad. 8th in the NFL. 356 yards per game. That's 11th. They're converting on third down at a rate just a little under 46%. And their touchdown rate, about 2.6 touchdowns per game. That's 11th best in the NFL. So you're looking at those numbers. You say, okay, that's solid. Not bad, right? And then you look at Denver's numbers, and you're like, oh, my gosh, this offense is cheeks. This offense is terrible. I mean, you spent all that money, $50-some-odd million on Russell Wilson, and you have 14 points a game to show for it. Yards per game, just a little under 320. Third down conversion rate, 30th in the league. Touchdowns per game, last in the league. I mean, Drew Lock may have done better with this offense than what Russell Wilson has done this year with those type of statistics they've put together. So, challenge him to a shootout. I don't care, because the Broncos obviously can't hang if that's the case. Got a great deal we're offering Ravens fans right now, folks. Holiday season is here. I am getting ready accordingly. I got to decorate and all that stuff. I've never decorated for Christmas before. We'll see how that goes. But might as well get a head start in your holiday shopping. And we're offering a great deal for Ravens fans just in time for the holiday season. You see this T-shirt hat combination? Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Well, guess what? You're in good luck. $18.99 is all we're charging to get both. I mean, you'd be happy just to get the T-shirt for $18.99, let alone the hat and the T-shirt. Get yours today. Chatsports.com/Ravens combo. You'll be glad you did. Get it for yourself, maybe a loved one, maybe somebody you hate. I don't care. Get yours now while supplies last. Chatsports.com/Ravens combo. Number 4 on our keys to victory for the Ravens. And I put Yoda up there because I want the Ravens to use the force, right? Force Denver to throw the football, okay? I mean, we talked about how bad Russell Wilson's been and how bad this Denver offense has been all year. But get this, if you stop the run and force them to throw the football, Denver is winless this season. 0-5 when they run the football less than 25 times a game. So basically, load up the box, force them to throw the football, and you're going to be in good shape. I mean, make Russell Wilson beat you. That's what we've gotten to at this point. For a guy that's gotten paid so much money and that the Broncos were so excited to have, who's won a Super Bowl, who's been a Super Bowl MVP, he is dependent so much on his run game just to be able to win. Now, granted, the top teams in the league this year all run the football well. That's very true. But even with that said, this Denver team is completely reliant on the run game. And if you shut that down, you win. Simple as that. Got one more key to get to here in just a second. Predict the score for Sunday's game. I already asked you who you think's going to win. What is the score going to be? Let me know in the comments section below how you see this game playing out. Is it going to be close? Is it going to be ugly? Let me know. And we're going to have full post-game coverage for you coming up on Sunday. This is the place to be here on the channel. Subscribe now and never miss a moment of the Ravens Rundown. YouTube.com/RavensTV. Daily Baltimore Ravens news and rumors segments. We're also doing game previews, post-game, free agency trades, and more. Subscribe now, YouTube.com/RavensTV. Last one. It's simply crossing the finish line. And we've seen this Ravens team this year has blown 4 different fourth-quarter leads in all 4 losses that they've suffered. And as I was scouting this game and looking to see what the pundits were saying, I was very curious to see what the Denver media had to say about this game. This is Tim Lynch, who covers the Broncos for SB Nation. This is what Timmy had to say. If the lowly Carolina Panthers, +7 underdogs last week, were able to manhandle the Broncos offense so easily, then I would guess the Ravens wouldn't have too difficult of a time either. Plus, with Lamar Jackson back there, giving the Broncos defense fits, I assume this game is going to get ugly quickly for Denver. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. So even the Denver media thinks this game's going to get out of hand pretty fast. And I think that's not the issue here. I think we all agree that the Ravens are going to get off to a fast start. That's not the problem. It's how they finish. Okay? I mean, you can go up by 3 or 4 touchdowns, but what are you going to do in the fourth quarter when it matters most? Got to be able to finish the football game. That's so important here. So to recap, protect the football. Get pressure on Russell Wilson. All gas, no brakes. Get going early and turn into a shootout for as far as I'm concerned. Force Denver to throw the football. I'll take my chances on that. Finish. Don't just get off to a good start. Get off to a strong finish. And my pick, I already told you I like the Ravens to win. I don't think this is close. They dominate. 34-17 is my prediction. If you're rooting for the Ravens on Sunday, spam Flock in the comment section. If you're rooting for the Ravens and want to see them get it done, spam Flock. As many times as you spam Flock, they're more likely to win on Sunday. I think that's how that works. And as always, you can interact with me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything in between, at Tyler Jones Live. And we'll see you next time here on the Ravens Rundown.